we had 30 minutes good. You know, to win in this league, we need 40. And every time you step on the court, you need to be ready to fight. We start the third quarter so bad. I don't know if we thought the game is over or what, you know, but basketball game lasts 40 minutes. We need to be really solid with the ball, take care of the basketball. We can't be sloppy at all. And that's how they change the game. We keep getting better and working every day and try to get there, but we have to learn how to win with this group and finish the games. Like I said, I think this was third game already. We kind of slipped away, big lead. Today we were leading almost whole game, and unfortunately basketball games for us, you know, last 40 minutes. Our defense gave us the opportunity to win this game. Then obviously, you know, it comes down to the small things, small details. At least we are competing now. All the last games we are right there. Now we have to learn how to win with this group and take that next step and connect these games and get some wins.
Get some wins. Well, they had a chance to get a whole lot more, Derek and Beck, but they blew the big leads.
Well, you look at these 4 games right here. If they had just won 2 of them, Beck, it really would have put them in a different situation going into this game tonight. But they are improving, and there are enough games left in the season. And also, they got that guy right there, PJC.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be kicking yourself for having those losses, but like you said, it's still early in the season. They're still gelling, and I really hope that things are coming together, especially after their last win. This is the moment to back it up and show that, hey, they don't have that losing mentality and they know how to close out games. But all of that is really the mental side of the game, isn't it? Learning how to win a game is something about just not letting tension, fear, any of that take over the game.
I distinctly remember that from my 4 games in the NBL, not letting that fear take over. But it's not just, you know, losing these big leads. From New Zealand, we see them fantastic at times, we see them downright terrible at times, and sometimes you see it both in the same game. There's just not a huge amount of consistency to this group.
And I think sometimes that's due to the fact that there's been tremendous change and new imports. Parker Jackson-Cartwright was hurt earlier in the season. I think only now they're starting to find their identity. Keep in mind, this team comes into this game number 3 in the league in defensive rating, so they are doing a lot of things right as we go into this game here.
Beck, one of the greatest basketball minds we have. We need you to go inside the head of Petteri Koppinen. What's on his whiteboard?
Here we go.
All right, so for his whiteboard, let me just get to my notes.
Oh, Beck, come on. Oh,
just kidding. No, for them, he's made comments a lot about how their identities in their pace and in their speed. So I think they really need to play to that, but at the same time not be rushed. I think another point is limiting Perth's O boards. They do a really great job of going after it. So they need to make sure they get a body on players. And then obviously one-on-one defense, along with collective defense, but I think guarding your man is super important.
I like it.
Beck, you're on fire early. And as I look at John Reilly's whiteboard, I think it's important that they initially focus their offensive structure around Christian Doolittle. Look, he's a very talented guy, could be the best at his position when he plays to his potential, but we haven't seen that yet. Defensive rebound. Perth are last in the competition in defensive rebound percentage. New Zealand rebound exceptionally well. Perth are 1-3 at home this season, Felix. They got to play with enjoy and engage, you know who? The Red Army. Let's go.
They need to fire up. They need to get some weapons and get out there. I'll tell you what, Derek Rucker, Beck Allen, and finally Joel Peterson to take you through this game. It's set to be a cracker.
Menenga got rid of Krislovic and then drains the 3. Taking it all the way. Menenga with the slam. Oof. And the putback from JLA. Slam and Sam Menenga. The Wildcats Junior's been a dominant force. It's a good look. Jackson Cartwright for Menenga. Here is JLA. Look at the strength of the big man. Menenga's had himself a good night. He runs the floor.
JLA still taking over. Bang, bang, JLA.
Menenga wants to get to that left hand, and he's so hard to stop when he spins. Here's Joe. Oh! Menenga just rips away flushes and hangs for a pick.
Second leg of a Saturday night doubleheader takes us out west to RAC Arena, where the Perth Wildcats host the New Zealand Breakers. They met in round 2. It was a come-behind victory from Perth, And the Breakers go cross-country after winning on the Gold Coast in the Ignite Cup on Wednesday night. They head out west to try and take another W and improve to 5-9 on the season. Joel Peterson alongside Derek Rucker and Beck Allen, Damien Martin, Annalie Maley are courtside this evening. A big team assembled for what should be an interesting game and a couple of fascinating matchups that we've got in this one. That man, JLA, against Sam Menenga. That is going to be all kinds of fun tonight, Ruck.
Well, that's a juicy matchup. We saw Sam Menenga have great success against Tyrell Harrison Wednesday night in the Ignite Cup, but look at the numbers from these guys. Very productive on the offensive end. They rebound the basketball. They are the focal points of their interior offenses and defenses, Beck.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think especially for New Zealand, if they're wanting to be successful tonight, a lot is going to have to go through Sam Menenga. So we need to see him having that really aggressive mindset when he gets the ball and he has to be in attack mode tonight.
And they do it in different ways. We know JLA is so effective close to the basket. Sam Menenga can stretch the floor. He's given teams some headaches across the course of the year. He is having a magnificent season, the big man from Auckland, and really putting his name up in lights in this campaign. Another matchup to watch tonight is Parker Jackson Cartwright and David Duke Jr., the new Perth Wildcats imports. He's been around for about a week and a half now, played a couple of games. He got his feet under him against Southeast Melbourne, and now he tackles one of the biggest challenges in the league. To staying in front of Parker Jackson Cartwright is not easy.
Well, after the success Duke Jr. had against Bryce Cotton last Sunday in Adelaide, we would anticipate that he gets plenty of minutes on Parker Jackson Cartwright. But look here, Parker Jackson Cartwright is one of the more dynamic players in the competition. 16 and 8 is what he's averaging this season, and it appears his play is on the ascendancy. But Duke Jr., great athlete, great physique, NBA level type body on that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he brings a whole other layer of athleticism to the Perth Wildcats group, that's for sure. And I think, yes, he's definitely got a defensive game set out for him, but I don't want him to look away from his offense as well, because he's just as lethal on that end.
He can certainly contribute on that side of the ball. He has only been in Perth for a little while, but starting to make his presence felt and get comfortable in this league. And anytime you come up against Parker Jackson Cartwright, you've got to stop him from scoring, obviously, Ruck, but then he is so good at setting up his teammates. He's #1 in total assists this season.
He is, and probably the person on the New Zealand Breakers that's really benefited from Parker Jackson Cartwright's creativity has been Karim Lopez. Lopez is shooting the ball very well from beyond the three-point line, and not only that, he's really been dynamic in the early stages of some of their big victories thus far in the past 3 rounds.
I mean, 100%. If you saw him last game, I mean, he was throwing up lobs, he was hitting three-pointers off the backboard, and he was getting down the line as well. So he was definitely confident and comfortable out there last game. So I'm hoping to see that again.
Yeah, well, Parker Jackson Cartwright is one of the fastest men in this competition. He's not the fastest man in the building tonight, because that title goes to Damien Martin, who's just snuck back into shot alongside Annalie Maley. Hello, Damo. Hello, Annalie.
I deserve that. I threw you under the bus in the lead-up. I deserve anything I get by throwing out some of my commentators. But I did. I've sprinted. I got caught up in the moment. I thought I'll go and check in to see what the Breakers are saying pre-game. And they're like, no, you're supposed to be on air. So I'm actually out of breath, which is really sad because it's only a 20-metre sprint.
What are you expecting tonight, guys?
Oh, look, you mentioned Parker Jackson Cartwright. As good as he is, everyone jumps on his coattails and they can roll. We can talk about Menenga, we can talk about their imports, we can talk about their role players. But for me, if PJC gets going in this building, he's just a superstar. He's so hard to stop. So all eyes on him, in my opinion.
It's going to be all kinds of fun. And Annalie, what are you looking forward to this evening?
Well, first of all, I'm slightly offended because I'm definitely faster than Damo. So I just need to clear that up first of all. But also, it's been a minute since I've seen RAC filled out like this. People have got their phone lights flashing. It's going to be a really hard place for New Zealand to play tonight.
I did say fastest man, Annalie, and I have seen you push the ball up the floor for the Lynx this season. So you've got all of us covered. Don't you worry about that.
Thank you.
It's going to be great fun having those two courtside this evening at RAC Arena. Looking forward to more from our two courtside reporters, Annalie Maley and Damien Martin, throughout the course of the evening. Our starting lineups are set for both of these two teams. Of course, there is no Jaron Riley, so Elijah Pepper gets the start for the Perth Wildcats.
And I like this lineup. There will be pressure on Duke Jr. and Elijah Pepper to make sure that the Wildcats get into their offense. And it'll be interesting who kind of takes on that point guard position.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think having Pepper on the court as well, he's that floor spacer. He can knock down that three. We all know that. So he's going to be a real asset on the court too.
There's plenty of talent in this Breakers starting lineup, the two bigs there in Baker and Menenga, both of them can stretch the floor. Brockington's been a little bit hot and cold so far this season. And the teenager from Mexico, Karim Lopez, always plenty of eyes on him whenever he steps out in Breakers blue.
This is a compelling game because both teams have a lot to play for.
Indeed they do. Baker completely missed the tips. Not an ideal start for the big man. The Breakers 4-9, the Wildcats 6-5. They are 1-3 in this building, and the Breakers 2-4 on the road. Both of their last two wins have come going away in this season as Pepper gets inside to kick us off. And the Breakers will come straight back the other way. Brockington, corner three ball. Won't go. It would have been a very nice start. And Joe Luala-Chul Jr. pulls down the rebound. He's the third leading rebounder on his team. Ruck, Windler and Doolittle both pulling down more boards as Dylan Windler continues his recent good form.
That's a great way for Windler to open this scoring up. And he started to really show good signs after missing extended period earlier in the season with an injury.
18-12-5 last time out. He had 21-15, or 18-15, I should say, earlier in the season against the Breakers. Joe Luala-Chul had 21-8 in the corresponding fixture. Menenga sets the screen for Jackson Cartwright. Pops out for the three ball. That's where he's so dangerous. Not on that occasion, but that's something I think we'll see them go to a bit tonight, Beck.
Yeah, exactly right, especially because you see that the defense was in a deep drop. So if he's going to be that far off Menenga, he's got that pop and an open shot. So yes, he didn't make the first one, but I hope they go back to it.
And they can stretch the floor with Baker at that other big spot as well. So they've got some real weaponry from outside the Breakers. They haven't shot the three ball particularly well this season. Menenga gets another one up in the early going, and they get another offensive rebound. Jackson Cartwright at the legs of Baker. And it's called a kick ball.
I mean, I've been talking up Menenga's three-point shot, so I need him to hit one just for my confidence at this point. I won't lie to you guys.
No, but Perth have to be careful because he's got two really good looks, and the numbers say that he's going to knock enough of those down. And
law of average.
Yeah.
Now he goes to the block against JLA. So if he can't beat him outside, can he beat him inside? He can't get it to go on that occasion, and Luala-Chul Jr., the rebounder, a very casual pitch out to David Duke Jr. Haven't hit from the floor, had plenty of chances in the early going, the Breakers. 0-5 to start. Doolittle pulling up, Pepper from outside. That is money from Elijah Pepper.
Good play there by Doolittle. New Zealand got caught in a mismatch in transition, and Doolittle attacked and created that three-point opportunity for Pepper.
Lopez with the ball handling duties. Creates some separation from Windler. And that is an away roll if ever I've seen one.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough because shots aren't falling, but they weren't good shots either. I feel like that's just not within the flow.
JLA recycles it, puts in two. And Petteri Koppinen not happy in the early going with what his team is producing. 8-0 out of the gates for the Perth Wildcats, and less than 2.5 minutes in, New Zealand need to call for time.
And Beck, sometimes it's when you play teams, and right now Perth coming off of that nice win in Adelaide, knowing that they haven't performed well at home, but it's only a matter of time with the talent that they have before they get it together. And right now, New Zealand deep in a hole, 8-0.
Indeed they are, so some work to do in this game. Under 2.5 minutes played so far. Rob Baker Jr. is going to be a big part of things tonight for the Breakers. We caught up with him pre-game.
And a massive win Wednesday night over in Brisbane versus the Bullets. How's the team feeling coming into tonight?
Anytime you win like that, you feel confident, and we just want to carry the momentum into tonight's game.
And some of the matchups you might have are against Christian Doolittle and Dylan Windler, who've been two of the stars for the Perth Wildcats. What are the keys to winning tonight, and how excited are you for those matchups in particular?
Keys for us, probably doing stuff similar to last game as much as we can, like transition and getting defensive stops, so we could string together, kills, 3 stops in a row. I think it'll bode well for us. So.
And Doolittle and Windler, how are you going to get under their skin tonight?
Same stuff, just being tenacious on defense, trying to, disrupt the rhythm as much as possible, and we'll make something happen after that.
So there's the thoughts of Rob Baker before this one. Hasn't gone to plan for the Breakers so far. Damo, what did they say in that huddle?
It was all about drawing off up an offensive set to try and get him an easy look to see at least 2 points go up on the scoreboard. So Pettery came into it and said, okay, we've had some decent looks. Now let's put some points on the board. He drew something on for this on ball. Let's see if it relates in 2 points. Whilst I was listening into New Zealand, Annalee was down with the Wildcats. Annalee, what did JR have to say?
It was a lot of positive stuff, and he liked the way that they were attacking the boards, even though 2 went to the same one. But the main focal point was how they were guarding Parker Jackson Cartwright. They said, let him catch the ball, and as he's dribbling it up, send a shadow defender. You saw a little bit of Doolittle doing it right there. So I think they're just trying to put pressure on him at all times, never let him feel safe with the ball.
There'll be a watch throughout the course of the evening. Thank you both. New Zealand's account is opened by Baker. Just under 3 minutes played in this one. John Peterson, Beck Allen, Derek Rucker, Damien Martin, Annalee Maley with you for Saturday Night Hoops, second leg of a doubleheader after Melbourne United eked out a win over the Brisbane Bullets earlier tonight. A couple of big games tomorrow as well. Illawarra, Sydney, Adelaide, Cairns. Lopez, straightaway 3-ball, leaves it short. Has been hitting those with regularity, shooting 45% from downtown this season. That was last touched by the Breakers, so it'll stay with Perth.
And I like that point Annalee made about how Perth want to defend PJC, and it's different for every superstar player. Bryce, for example, you don't want him to get a catch at all.
Another offensive rebound for the Wildcats. Pepper can't get that to go. He drags it in again. Now Duke Jr. guarded by Brockington, sizes things up, 8 on the shot clock. Tried to go behind the back to create a little bit of room for himself. Doolittle to the baseline, mid-range jumper, can't get it home. PJC scurries after that loose ball, puts a little bit of a move on it mid-court. Comes inside, can't get it to go. Lopez is there with the follow, he can't finish either.
Very scrappy back.
Yes, very scrappy, but that was first glimpse of really the pace that they do want to play at by getting those stops or getting those rebounds and really pushing out in transition.
Right now, the Breakers are 1 for 10 from the field, and I mentioned in the opener that Perth's defense has improved, but some of this is just the Breakers' inability to finish.
David Quera getting set to check in for the Wildcats. Junior tosses it down low. JLA sizing up Menenga. And he's called for the walk.
He shows strong, not only in the upper body, but in the lower body is Sam Menenga, that a slighter offensive player has a tough time backing him off of his defensive spot, and we saw it right there. Menenga forced JLA into a fadeaway jumper.
Still the same 5 out there for the Breakers, who, as you see on your screen, sit 9th so far this season. The Wildcats 5th, 6-5 Perth, 4-9 New Zealand. Breakers trying to make some inroads into this campaign. Lopez, catch and shoot. Rebound to Aquera, who's keen to push the pace and thinks better of it. Duke Jr. got Brockington in the air and then was fouled.
I really don't want New Zealand just to live and die by that 3-point line. Right now, it's really, their shots from outside aren't going down, so let's find a way to get it inside. Make sure your bigs get touches, because even if it's not them scoring, it's again that interior attacking by getting the ball inside to outside.
Well, you're all over it, Beck, because they're all 5 right now from deep. And a simple shot fake and try and get your hips by the defender's hips might be on the menu now.
Windler from outside. That's no good. Doolittle with some strength to shove Baker under the ball and then put it back in for 2.
That's tough. It's tough if you're allowing those second chance opportunities, and that's why, you know, getting a body on your players, so that they can't go in for those offensive boards is so important.
Baker from outside, 0 for 6 the Breakers, a hold down low.
And this is where it's tough, because if you look at their past 2 victories that the Breakers have had, down in Illawarra where they put up 102, Baker and Menenga hit 6 threes between the 2 of them. And then the other night on the Gold Coast, they shot it very well from deep also. So it's a tough one. You can't really go away from it, because otherwise I'm not sure the math adds up for them to get a W.
does speak to the way they've played so far this year. So New Zealand's 4 wins, 2 by 29, 1 by 17, 1 by 42. They've then lost by 9, 32, 11, 22, 6, 16, and then a 1-point game, a 4-point game, and a 7-point game.
But I would say that their starts to games are typically a lot better than what we're seeing right now. Usually they're the aggressor, they're starting with pace, they're being the ones that are dictating through defense to start their offense. So this is a bit of a different team we're seeing.
Ruben Tarangi outside knocks in the 3-ball.
And that's one of those shots, Beck, where the whole team takes a big, deep breath. Like, finally, we can relax now.
Straight in and says, thank you, Ruben. It's a good point you make about their starts. The Breakers, Beck, they've led at quarter time 6 times this season. They've led at half-time on 8 occasions from their 13 games. And they have made a little bit of a habit of coughing up leads. Led wire against Brisbane on Wednesday. Neither team shooting the ball particularly well so far.
Beautiful. That's
Kemba
beautiful.
floats that home.
That's great touch.
He's a talented shot maker, this young man. Still only 24 years of age, Elijah Pepper. 5 points in the early going here. Perth by 7, just over 4 minutes remaining here in the opening term. Brockington getting to his left hand and banking it home.
I like that action, Beck. Set him up for success as Aquera's back at it. 2-hand slam. David Aquera opens his account.
But how do they get that transition bucket after a make? You know, that says a lot about the defense and getting back. You know, that shouldn't be allowed. That shouldn't be happening.
Hit in every game so far this season for the Wildcats as David Aquera started 3, playing 10.5 minutes a game. Lopez can't get that to go. Aquera pulls it down, throws it ahead to Pepper. Lopez eviscerates the shot. Absolutely vaporized it, did the next star. Turn it over on offense, and Doolittle comes back the other way. And Mayon's in there to poke it home for 2.
And Perth, they're showing their depth. They're starting to get some of those bodies back as Brockington gets called for a softish offensive foul.
I agree.
Reinforcements coming in for the Breakers. Leafa, Lowe and Davison all coming in. Take a look at the Amy replay of Dave Aquera taking it upstairs.
I mean, he's just taking charge there, isn't he? But then also what I love is Lopez, after taking, I would say, a bit of an average shot, his work ethic to get back and make sure he got that stop on defense.
Does really bring an aspect of rim protection. And when he blocks him, you know about it. He doesn't leave him out there.
But he really is that spark player, isn't he? He's that X factor to the team. So I'm really, hopefully that gives him an energy to get going.
He's playing volleyball anytime he gets the chance. He's Karim Lopez.
And right now, these are some key minutes for Dante Russo-Nance. He was a starter for several games early in the season, lost his job to Jaron Riley, but now with Riley sustaining a hamstring injury that will keep him out for a while, he needs to earn not only his coach's trust, but his teammates' trust. Aquera on the glass again.
That lead out to double figures for the Wildcats here.
What I like on that point, Derek, is the fact that even Dylan Windler, his press conference, he said that they've got this real next man up mentality.
Yep.
So I like that again, says that, hey, there is trust within the group as well, and we're ready for the next man to stand up and take those minutes.
Nice defense from Henshaw, got a hand in the passing lane. It's built to Aquera. Russo-Nance. JLA wants him to clear out. Drops it off to Henshaw, passes it into traffic. Turnover. Breakers will come back the other way. Second turnover for the Wildcats, 3 for the Breakers in the early going. 18-7, Perth lead. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this opening frame. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Derek Rucker, Annalie Maley and Damien Martin with you. Saturday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL as Rob Lowe gets 2 to go.
Nice save, then a steal by the Breakers. Catch Perth being a bit careless with the basketball.
12 of their 18 in the paint in the early going as JLA says no to Taylor Britt.
That's that length we're talking about. He's a prolific shot blocker.
First in the competition, averaging 2 a game. In that department is JLA. Aquera puts it on the floor, driving through. Is fouled by Tarangi.
Playing with a lot of confidence and taking a moment to get himself right. It looked like His feet got tangled up with the defenders. But he'll go to the line to shoot 2. He's already got 4 points in the game, 3 rebounds.
Jesse Wagstaff getting set to check into the game. John really wanders over for a chat with the Wildcats captain, out to make his way into the contest for appearance number 517 in his career.
Wow.
It's a lot of games, Beck.
It's a lot of games. His body. Just think about the joints. It's impressive.
Perth has done a fantastic job. New Zealand 4 of 18. Only 9 points deep into this first stanza.
So Perth by 11. And that one's last touch by Davison. We'll go back with the Wildcats. Let's go courtside to Damo.
I just want to bring your attention to the energy and effort that 2 of the bigger players on the court in Joe Luella-Cure and David Aquera are playing from. For those watching through our TV screens, we've got a 7-footer and a 6'11" guy going off the dribble, getting in passing lanes, getting in deflections, getting out and running. It's all about energy and effort. For the Wildcats, I think those 2 have led by example. And then Jesse Wagstaff, you mentioned the amount of games he's suited up for so far. But imagine being David Aquera, where you get signed, think he's going to replace Jesse, but instead of being flat about it, because Jesse continues to go on because he deserves to continue playing, he's learning from one of the all-time greats, and one of the all-time greats who's embraced the role and played it to the best of his ability. David Aquera so far is playing to all of his strengths, and I've got no doubt it's from learning from the veteran.
There's plenty to learn from as well, and he keeps that one alive. Doesn't stay in red hands though. Jackson Cartwright to Lowe in the corner. Rob Lowe rattles that one in, back to an 8-point game. And just on Wagstaff, so 517th game tonight. He goes ahead of CJ Bruton into outright 10th all time in NBL games.
Tremendous career.
Wallachul Jr. underneath. Sat up there for a moment, but doesn't fall. Perth by 8, 25 and a half seconds remaining in this opening frame.
Here we go, guys. Lanes, please. Here we go.
With New Zealand potentially down 10 after these free throws, Beck, it could have been a lot worse.
Exactly what I was thinking.
But it just depends what they do with their possession to close out this quarter. If they get a bucket, Coach Coppinen can feel like, okay, we may have weathered a little bit of a storm.
100%, but I think also looking at least, you know, if it does stay at 22 points for Perth, that's not bad. That's not a terrible quarter, and I wouldn't say that New Zealand are in any way scratching the surface of who they are and can be.
It would be Perth's biggest quarter-time lead of the season if they get there. The lowest quarter-time score they've conceded so far this season as well. New Zealand's 3rd lowest opening quarter of the season. Jackson Cartwright gets 2 more to go. An 8-point game toward quarter time. Russo Nance loses it. JLA from half court can't bank it home. And it's the Wildcats who lead with 1 in the books at RAC Arena. 22-14, Perth over New Zealand.
And welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL, where Damien Martin, yours truly, was listening in on New Zealand Breakers, and not once, I'll repeat, not once.
We'll get back to Damo in a moment, 22-14. He's left us in suspense there. I was intrigued with where he was going. Joel Peterson, Derek Rucker, Beck Allen, Damien Martin, Natalie Maley with you. Saturday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have your company. Second leg of a doubleheader. Melbourne by 6 over Brisbane earlier tonight. It was a pretty hard charging Brisbane at the back end of that game. And the Wildcats have come out fast here as well. Now, Arthur can't hit out of quarter time. He's out there with Jackson Cartwright, Baker Lowe and Cullen Davison for the Breakers to start here. JLA gets 2 more and makes it a 10-point game. He's there with Windler Doolittle, David Duke Jr. and Elijah Pepper. So John Riley back to the starting lineup to start this second term. No, Jaron Riley is out for an extended period with a hamstring injury for the Wildcats as Baker gets that one to fall.
Nice pass there from Carlin Davison. I love the way he penetrates, and Beck, he always seemingly knows where to make the play if it's not on for him.
Yeah, great vision and a lot of patience in the way that he goes about it too.
So Wildcats up by 8. Jackson Cartwright speeds up the floor, finds Lowe in transition. He gets that one to go. And it is back to a 5-point game.
I mean, this is where they're their best, isn't it? And forcing a timeout as well, they've done really well.
Great little response out of quarter time here for the New Zealand Breakers, who've scored 5 points in just over a minute to narrow that gap to only 5 at 24-19 with the Tangerine timeout called by John Riley, who just wants to make sure they can't get a run on and build any momentum here.
Well, right now, both teams need to get on their defensive glass. There are 13 offensive rebounds between the two of them in that first quarter. And the Perth Wildcats, we know they're not a good defensive rebounding team as it is, but if New Zealand get on a roll and can get out in transition like we've seen in that last possession, Beck, things could get kind of testy for John Riley's crew.
100%. That's why it was really good just to call a timeout right now, just to settle it all down, settle these guys down as well, and hopefully slow down that pace.
So Perth by 5, 8:52 remaining. Of course, the 11th or the 12th game this season for them. 517th game for that man on screen. And as we told you, he moves into the top 10 all-time games played. Some great names there in that top 10. And Leonard Copeland and Jesse Wagstaff slots in there at number 10.
Look at that, a great list. Some serious legends in there. Some metaphorically, some literally in Andrew Gaze. And to get over that 500 game threshold is an incredible achievement.
Copes is going to come for both of us. We've got ourselves into trouble just in about 30 seconds there, you and I, Ruck. Perth by 5. Let's check in courtside. Damo.
Guys, November 15th is a special day for many reasons. It's my brother's 40th, it's my Nana's birthday, my cousin Simon's birthday, but it's also an opportunity for me. There's an opportunity for 2 reasons. I coached for the first time under 11s during the Wolves. I'm sure you tuned in. We went 2 out of 3, as Meatloaf said, that ain't bad. But I also got asked for the first time to bring the call in after quarter time, and boy did I choke. I didn't realise, I thought I was off air, so I just stopped talking. Turns out live TV means live TV. So in regards to what I listened into then, it was all about boxing out. The New Zealand Breakers do not want to give up any more offensive rebounds. They want to continue to move the ball and make a good look, a great look by making the extra pass. Anna Lee listened in on the Perth Wildcats. Let's throw to her.
Yeah, look, if New Zealand were talking about boxing out, they've just missed 2 box outs in a row. Listening into Perth just then, it was more of a collaborative approach. Really was asking his players what they felt out there, but was also kind of encouraging them to continue to get on the glass. He's like, it's working. They're not boxing you out. Keep getting extra possessions. And if I was Perth, that's where I'd be living and dying right now.
Thank you, Annalie. Thank you, Damo. That was quite the segue from Damo, but I'm glad that we stuck with him, and I'm sure he'll have more opportunities later in the game to get us out of a break. That won't be the last time you do it, Damo. Don't worry. 24-19, just over 2 minutes played here in this second term.
And normally RAC Arena is a very shooter-friendly environment, Beck, but both teams struggling. Perth at 36 from the field, and the Breakers at 32. but it's an entertaining contest despite the inaccurate shooting and the scrappiness of it. Both teams are giving a lot of effort.
They're all giving, a lot of effort for sure, and I think it's just finding their rhythm again and not playing to the other team's pace, and that's going for both sides. But I know we just missed that drive, but those sort of attacks, I mean, in PJC right now, even the smallest guy in the court is getting nerd board, so that's pretty wild to me, isn't it?
Makes a coach just want to...
Doolittle back the other way, gets 2 to go with 1 to come.
You know, those offensive rebounds by a guard, a small guard, careless turnovers, those are the things that really drive coaches crazy. And when you go back over a game and review it, it's those mistakes as opposed to missed shots or bad calls by the referees. It's the simple things that you can correct quite easily with just a little bit more focus and a little bit more effort.
Christian Doolittle at the line. 25% on the season, hits that one, 5 points. You mentioned you wanted to see more of an offensive focus on him before the game, Ruck. Christian Doolittle, are you happy with how he's been featured thus far?
Well, it's tough because they got out to a quick start off the back of some hot shooting from Pepper, and then they really didn't go at one person in particular. That moon ball goes in from Tarangi in the corners. He knocks down his second 3. He's been in good form over the past few rounds as well.
Couple of 3 balls here in this quarter already for the Breakers, who really struggled from outside to start.
I think you've also got to mention just the mindset of being a bench player. You never know when you're going to come into the game. So even just to talk about Tarangi and him coming into the game and being ready, even with his first touch, being a shot at the start of the game, you know, I think that there's a lot said to the mentality behind that.
Oh, the mental toughness and just always staying locked in and ready to go. I have tremendous respect for guys like that can come in at any time, especially in the NBL, where we're different to the NBA. Not many coaches sub on the clock. Substitutions vary from game to game.
Jackson Cartwright gets inside, kicks it out to Menenga. Tarangi back to PJC. Working on Pepper. He drops it off, and Menenga monsters the rim.
The danger for Perth is you can look at PJC's body language, and he looks, Beck, as if he believes he can get the ball anywhere he wants to get it.
Yep, that's that confidence, isn't it? And also when he has 1 foot in front of his defender, he's lethal.
Starting to get some ascendancy back in the interior game. The Breakers. That's shot 60% from 2-point range against Adelaide last Sunday as Jackson Cartwright is tripped up near mid-court.
And Joel, the numbers may prove me wrong, but I remember several games in his career, his short career here in the NBL, where Parker Jackson Cartwright has been really effective at RAC Arena as we look at the Amy replay. And great up fake there to set up Menenga. Good athlete, Menenga. That Amy replay. You know, it never lies. It always tells the truth, Beck.
It does. It always tells the truth. You get to see it from a different angle.
It's a very good shout from you, Ruck. So 3 games in this building for PJC. 34 last time out in that 123-112 barn burner where Bryce Cotton had 59 last year. But 34, 19 and 20 in his 3 games in this building. Does get the points there, but Doolittle hands them to him, and New Zealand take the lead.
And it's the beauty of having an outstanding point guard, because they impact the game in ways in which a lot of other players or positions on the court cannot.
Well, I mean, they're really controlling the tempo of the game, aren't they? They're in control of the pace and getting people open as well and creating so that everyone else feels confident out there. I mean, it'd be pretty nice playing with a point guard like PJC, though, wouldn't it? Makes the game a whole lot easier.
Well, not for me, because I'd be on the bench back.
I'd like to play with him.
Derek Rucker, Beck Allen with you in commentary this evening. NBL MVP and WNBA player. Foul down low. They're in very, very good hands with expert commentators tonight, with Ruck and Beck, and then the man that the Defensive Player of the Year trophy is named after in Damian Martin, and WNBL MVP, and the most ferocious rebounder in Australian basketball, I'm going to say, in Natalie Maley.
Yeah.
She's got Dylan Windler covered.
If there's an offensive rebound to be had, she's on it.
Gonna get it. She's got a battery that just never runs low, that one. I'm just very envious of it.
Men's, women's, juniors, pensioners, any form of basketball you like at any age level. Our Annalie is getting after it with the best of them. Duke Jr. hits the free throw. 1 point lead to the Wildcats. Let's check in with Annalie courtside.
Hey guys, I like the way you just pumped me up there. I would like to be introed like that everywhere that I go. But I want to talk about the look that you were talking about in PJC's eyes at the moment. He is really the floor general at the moment, and he looks like he can do whatever he wants with the basketball. JR is on the sidelines telling his team to keep shadowing him and keeping him uncomfortable, because they're not doing that at the moment.
Well, they've changed the matchup also. They put Henschel on him, and they've gone to more of a full denial.
Good from Mayan from outside. Tarangi the rebounds. PJC who's stepping back. That one's offline. Lopez and Meninga out there for the breakers.
He missed a shot back, but Henschel had no idea what was going on defensively.
I mean, that's a problem, isn't it?
Oh, and he's taking him out of the game. Oof. I don't think that's the time.
Not in this moment. No one is this close, but also I feel like he's giving a lot on either end as well. But when do you take him out of the game? That's the real question.
6 points on 3 of 6 shooting for Parker Jackson Cartwright. 5 assists in the early going, so chalk up another double-double. Charlie Chill's taken a whack from Sam Meninga there, potentially. Not happy with the no call.
Now, what was the call here, Joel? Did they not call a foul on Meninga, or did they just stop play?
Yeah, I thought Michael Allen had just called to stop the game because JLA was sort of immobile, basically.
I'm confused.
So what, we just stopped the game because the player
stopped?
Apparently. Michael Allen's got the power to do that kind of thing as the referee, as Meninga out in transition with the lefty slam.
It's crazy what confidence does to a team.
Yep.
And it gives you some resilience, as we've seen New Zealand display in this first half.
Duke Jr. rises up on the free throw line. Points will count, foul underneath. And so it'll stay with the Wildcats. That is a really smooth move from David Duke Jr., his first field goal of the evening. Rob Lowe wanted to check into the game. He got waved away. Under 4 minutes remaining here in this first half. Perth by 1, 31-30. Doolittle stepping all the way through. Hands the Wildcats back the lead.
I mean, that was a really good take. All he did was that little shot fake, and that got Sam Meninga's feet just up that little bit in the air, and he had the advantage and went downhill.
Extends their lead, I should say, as Meninga at the other end can't hit. Aquera putting it on the floor. Henschel snaking his way through the defense and finishing. And a timeout for Petteri Koppanen. They got themselves all the way back in the game. And now a Tangerine timeout to talk about things for the New Zealand Breakers coach. 3:19 remaining second term. The Perth Wildcats 35 to the New Zealand Breakers 30. Both teams shooting 13 of 34 from the field. The Breakers 4 of 14 from outside. The Wildcats 2 of 11. And that rebounding count has somewhat normalised itself as well. So it's even on the stats sheet at the moment. It is even in the ball game as well. And this is a good, tight tussle in this second leg of a Saturday night doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Let's have a listen to the New Zealand coach.
Hey, we're getting good shots, wide open shots, but after, everybody back. And then we need to be in the gaps. There is no hocking and players. And then, Doolittle is bullying us on the boards now. Put body on him. Hey, we call Tom side to Brook. Start Tom side. Tom side. Parker, same side. Here. Fast to back.
So that's Petteri Koppanen's take on things. Let's check in with Annalie.
I think we're about to see, I know, we're about to see a press from Perth right here to really keep the pressure up, because he's super happy with how hard they're playing at the moment. And then you had Jesse Wagstaff saying, don't shoot the first shot. He said, we've got great shooters on the second side. Give up the good shot, find the great shot.
Well, despite all of that, Beck, we know what went down. They took Parker out of the game.
That was the problem, wasn't it? That's what changes the tempo.
He sees that double in the backcourt. They get it over just. Perth by 5, 35-30. Over 3 minutes remaining in this term as Rob Baker pulls the trigger from outside.
Rob Baker shooting the ball very well from the three-point line. It's where he feels most comfortable on the basketball court. Henschel playing with a lot of confidence. Gets on the rim and draws a foul. He's had an up-and-down season, Joel.
34% for both. Sorry, 43% for Baker from outside. And Henschel, I mean, he's an interesting test case. You'd think that the Jaron Riley injury should open up some opportunity for him. He probably hasn't had the year that he wanted so far this season as he's at the free throw line, the young West Australian. Are you ready to beat the coach? You can get involved in Supercoach this season. A new format, weekly prizes, an end of season prize, $5,000 cash and $5,000 Choice Hotels gift voucher, and weekly prizes to give away as well. And all you've got to do is beat Damon Lowry, which really shouldn't be that hard. So get involved in Supercoach NBL this season.
Happy birthday to our guy. It's his birthday weekend. I mean, I really don't like being nice to him, but it's his birthday, so got to do it, Joel.
Very charitable of you, Ruck. Very charitable of you. 2.5 remaining in this opening half. Aquera can't hit. They got a couple of looks at it there, the Wildcats. They've got 13 offensive rebounds in this game. Both sides have combined for 20 in the first half. Baker puts it on the floor, gets to his left hand and finishes in top.
Okay, Rob Baker showing us another aspect to your game. Good shot fake, cross step, gets on his left hand, finishes at the cup.
It's beautiful, isn't it? But it's sort of funny just seeing now Lopez on the court. I sort of forgot that he was out there. He hasn't really had the impact that we know that he can have, especially offensively. He right now does have 0 points, which I think is quite unlike him.
Well, that smack to the face may wake him up, but he's been in outstanding form, the second-year next star. And
I mean, we are talking about an 18-year-old, aren't we?
Exactly. This is part of the development. You got off to a slow start in this game on the road in a tough environment against a good team. Can you hang with it, or do you drop your head and quit playing?
Look at Jackson Cartwright go flying into the stands. He bounces back to his feet, just getting acquainted with some of the locals.
We have some very charismatic players in the NBL, but Parker Jackson Cartwright may be #1. Just hard to dislike the guy, the way he plays. He's so excellent in many aspects of the game, and I guess his size is probably endearing also, Joel.
He's a little diminutive demon. He's Parker Jackson Cartwright. First free throws of the night here for New Zealand, who get to the line at the lowest rate out of anyone in the league. Have you always held that contention about Parker Jackson Cartwright, even when perhaps you've disagreed about certain things, Derek Rucker?
Oh, are you talking about my twin brother Eric that does the Derek Rucker top 15? That's a different person.
I'm surprised you're bringing it up.
Eric Tucker. Looking forward to Eric Tucker's next edition of the top 15.
Yeah.
36 here.
Took his cookies back.
That is mean. That is mean from PJC. He's doing a little bit of everything. Offloads to Baker from outside. Can't hit. Ball will go back in red.
That shot went down. I feel like that whole New Zealand bench was going to explode, weren't they? But you see that when PJC gets those long strides, he's about to really go downhill. You'd have to be intimidated as a defender.
Gets out and really lopes up the court when he gets moving. Interesting contrast in this game. 10 assists on 15 made field goals for the Breakers. Just 5 on 13 for the Wildcats, who don't have that lead facilitator that we've seen in recent years. Still ticking the scoreboard over at a decent enough rate. 12 from outside.
13 offensive rebounds for the Cats.
Pepper takes some contact and he's fouled, so Elijah Pepper will go to the free throw line, and that provides us with a very good opportunity to check in courtside with Damo.
Yeah, I just wanted to point something out that I've found interesting. Obviously, it's a low-scoring game, tied at 36 apiece, but no player with only a minute 19 remaining in the first half is in double digits right now. It's collectively they've managed to accumulate that amount of points per team, but no one has really taken over. And you mentioned PJC. If it's going to be PJC for New Zealand, I'm going to throw it back to Ruck. Who could it be for the Wildcats? Because rarely do you have this going into half-time, and even rarer than that is someone finishing below 20, so we need someone having a massive second.
Damo, on my coach's whiteboard for the Wildcats, I had get that ball to Christian Doolittle earlier. I just feel that he is the best all-around offensive player that the Wildcats have. And I think also for longevity, when you start looking at the postseason, who's going to be that guy, I just think it's time that they really feature him on the offensive end.
He has been the one they've gone to in crunch time, not only throughout the course of this season, but had an enormous postseason last year, did Christian Doolittle. Wildcats by 2, minute remaining. Jackson Cartwright, again, he's orchestrating the offense, pulling the strings. He can't connect on that occasion. Wagstaff, the rebound out there with Russo Nance, Luala Chul Jr., Henschel and Pepper. Oh. Slips down, does the Kiwi native, and then loses the ball.
We got numbers.
Liafa, Lopez, now Lowe. Back to Lopez, back out to Liafa, who is wide open and can't hit.
His shooting woes just continue. Wide open there in trans.
10 of 46 on the season, 10 of 47, I should say, on the season, as Henschel gets 2 to go at the other end. And Russo Nance and Parker Jackson Cartwright getting tangled up.
And this is what Russo Nance needs to do, Beck. You got to disrupt Parker Jackson Cartwright's rhythm and his energy in this game. Maybe get him focused on a physical battle or something.
I mean, that's really true. Getting into his head and making him think about, you know, everything else like playing the game. In some ways, it's quite a clever tactic. Not one of my tactics when I was playing, but was it one of yours? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it wasn't, but I had teammates who definitely employed said tactics.
I think it's smart.
Yeah. Unless you send Parker to the free throw line on the other end to shoot too.
Beck's too friendly.
Yeah.
She'd just sort of lull them into a false sense of security and then just block any shot that was within about a 15-foot radius of her, Ruck. And as Felix said pre-game, it is very nice to have someone, part of our commentary team, has some real defensive acumen.
I mean, I got ejected this last season in the WNBA. So
yes, we saw that.
Maybe I do have a nasty streak.
Yeah, you went into a little bit of a fight. Did you kick out at someone?
Oh God, no, never. But you know, when in your mind you're the one that won the battle, but really when you look at it back, you're the one on the floor. So yeah, wow, not me at my finest.
Replays aren't always kind. Jackson Cartwright at the line. And he makes 2 to make it a 2-point game nearing half-time. 26.3 remaining in this opening half. And the Breakers might still get another look at it off the back of this possession. Perth have led by as many as 11 in this opening half. Led for 18 of the available 19 and a bit minutes. Henschel sizes things up, gets inside, tosses it away. Pepper retrieves it, hoists one up, and it falls! Elijah Pepper to beat the halftime buzzer. Doing what he does best, hitting from outside and handing the Wildcats a 5-point lead at the half.
Well, that was a very competitive first half. New Zealand did a good job to fight back and get into the contest. And Beck, I think that 3 from Pepper at the bell could be a big one.
I think it's really big. How you enter the second half is always massive, especially with your final shot. So, I mean, I think it was a good look at Ben Henschel going downhill the way that he did. Pass obviously wasn't what he planned, but I think Pepper really made something out of nothing.
Nice way to go into the half for the Wildcats, up by 5. Let's check in with Annalie, who's with Christian Doolittle.
Scores were a little bit hard to come by in that first half. What is it feeling like out there?
I feel like we're getting a lot of good shots. We're just not making them right now, but I feel like our offense has been pretty fluid.
And was there a focus on getting on the offensive glass? Because you guys have really been crashing that pretty well.
Yeah, it's something that we talk about every game, trying to get extra possessions and trying to get kick-out threes from them.
And then lastly, like going into the second half, what do you think the focus will be? What are you guys going to talk about in the locker room?
Just not letting up. We had a big lead in that first quarter. I feel like we kind of took our foot off the gas. We got to respect the team and just keep playing good defense.
Okay, best of luck. Cheers.
Annalie Maley with Christian Doolittle at halftime. It's the Wildcats by 5, 43-38. We'll break it all down with Derek Rucker and Beck Allen on the other side of this.
I want respect. I want to be one of the bigger names. Who doesn't want that? And so the only way to do that is to take down some of the bigger names, for sure.
Pocket pass for Sam Menenga. Menenga, the hook shot, and that's his shot.
Hold your own against these guys. Be competitive and win games against these players who have been, super successful in their career and done everything that I hope to do. In this environment, in this profession, it's wins and losses. And so if you can come away with the win and you're in the position where you're going against a guy like JaVale, or a guy like anyone, Tyrell's been playing great. I think, being able to be rewarded with the win and helping your team win is the most gratifying thing, and the way you can walk away and feel like you held your own, you feel like you belong, you feel like you are on track in your career and on track to do the things that you aspire to do.
He's on track to do some really good things this season, Sam Menenga. He's right in the thick of awards conversations with the way he's playing at the moment. And he and the Breakers trail by 5 as we go to halftime at RAC Arena. 43-38, the Wildcats over the New Zealand Breakers. Joel Peterson, Derek Rucker and Beck Allen with you at halftime. There are our stats so far. What do they tell us? Interesting reading the numbers.
Well, it's a pretty balanced game, and I think both teams have done a pretty good job on the defensive end. The offense has been sloppy at times, and that big 3 ball at the end of the first half from Elijah Pepper is telling, Beck.
I mean, that's a real, momentum changer, I think, and especially for Perth. That's got to have you feeling good going into the second half. But it's a very low-scoring game. But I think both teams are getting good looks in many moments throughout the game. But sometimes they're just not dropping.
And then the other pivotal moment was when Petteri Kapanen decided to take Parker Jackson-Cartwright out of the game right when he was preparing a nice meal for the Breakers, and that had a 5-point swing in favor of the Perth Wildcats.
Last time these two teams met here, they put up 235 points combined. We've got 83 in this first half. So it's a little bit of a different story so far. Christian Doolittle, you wanted him featured in this offence for the Perth Wildcats. He's the focus of our Hungry Jacks highlights to half-time. 7 points on 3 of 8 from the field, but 5 rebounds. He's doing a bit of everything else.
Yeah, it's kind of been symbolic of his season. Not bad, but again, not to the level that we expect. I figured this guy would be an MVP-type level player this season, and he can still get there, but it just looks like he hasn't found his rhythm. His skills aren't there yet. He did enough in the first half. He was serviceable, 3 of 8 from the field as we look at his Blackmore's player profile. I like the shot totals, but he's just got to convert. He should be more 5 of 8 with 7 boards and a couple steals. You've got to be in double figures.
Yeah, definitely in double figures, but I think it's also constantly demanding the ball and wanting the ball so that he has that aggressive attitude in the way that he plays. But I totally agree with you. I think that we could be seeing more from him.
4 of his 5 rebounds in the first half offensive. They've got 13 offensive rebounds as a team, have the Wildcats so far. We've spoken a lot, of course, about Parker Jackson-Cartwright in that first half, as we always do. Yep. The way that he leads things for the New Zealand Breakers. He is such a focal point for them, and he's been doing it. He's been scoring the ball. He's been assists. He's got 6 assists to half-time, and as Anneli said, he looks like he's in complete control out there.
One of the things that's really difficult about trying to contain Parker Jackson-Cartwright is his skill set is so highly developed, and he's outstanding on his left hand. He's a right-handed player, so the scout normally tells you push left. That's going to be his weak hand. In fact, he is even more dynamic on his left hand. I want teams to try and at least make him do that and give the ball up. Obviously, there resulted in a nice dunk there for Menenga, but keep him off his left hand.
I mean, it's about stopping him from scoring, but he's a creator for everyone else as well. So you take away one thing and then he has another, and I think that's just what makes him so dynamic.
Hey, big games coming up tomorrow, of course. The thing that kicks it all off is one of the most anticipated games of the season so far. The Illawarra Hawks and the Sydney Kings in the Sandpit is going to be all kinds of fun, Ruck.
That's a big-time, legitimate rivalry. And Justin Tatum, does he have that team going again?
It seems like it. Dave O'Hickey, Justin Tatum, they are up and running, the Illawarra Hawks. So that's going to be a big game. First of a doubleheader on a Sunday. Big second half coming up out west as well. It's the Wildcats by 5. What can the Breakers do about that? We'll find out next. Half-time out west, it is the Perth Wildcats by 5, 43-38. Let's head inside the Wildcats camp. Damien Martin is with Keegan Crawford.
I'm here with Perth Wildcats assistant coach Keegan Crawford. Keegs, what'd they say at half-time?
Big thing for us is just getting to the next side of our offense. Too stagnant, had a great possession doing it in the first quarter. We've got to flow it over to the second half now.
It looked like in the back end of the second quarter, Parker Jackson Cartwright, one of the biggest headaches in the game to scout, started getting going. Is he going to be a focal point in the second half, and how do you slow him down?
Yeah, look, we have a scheme that we try to execute. I think in the first quarter we did it well. It's also, he's a tough cover, so you're wearing him down over the course, of the whole game, and hopefully we see the reward in the fourth quarter.
I saw you having a few words to say to Elijah Pepper, a few words of encouragement. What have you seen from guys like Pepper, Henschel and David Aquera in that first half? Because they seem like the energy guys.
Let it fly.
Love the advice. Let's see how they go in the second half. Thanks a lot, Keegan.
43-38 as we get set for the second half. It's been fun so far in the jungle this evening, and the Breakers trying to get another win on the season. It would be a third straight in terms of their victories that have come on the road after winning on the Gold Coast earlier in the weekend. 43-38 is the score as we start this second half. Joel Peterson, Beck Allen, Derek Rucker, Annalie Maley and Damien Martin with you. Saturday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL round 9 of this season, which is flying by at a rapid rate as we approach the FIBA break next weekend. David Duke Jr. starts us off in the second half with a tough finish.
Nice move there by Duke Jr. and a good offensive set. And keep in mind, the Wildcats have been playing good offensive basketball with Jaron really at the point. In his absence now, they need to find some rhythm because he's going to be out of the lineup for probably a month or so.
Jackson Cartwright, Menenga, 3-ball, won't go.
0 for 4 from 3. I mean, you can see that also Perth are really giving up that three-point shot, aren't they? They're almost daring him to shoot it.
Took the first shot of the game from out there for New Zealand, and first shot of the second half ends up being the same for Sam Menenga. Windler puts it on the floor, getting all the way inside, passes it out, taken away by Brockington, who is off to the races. Lopez in tow, Brockington goes himself. Lopez tries to tip it home, can't finish it, rips down the rebound with one hand, puts it back up and finally gets it in.
Love that persistence, long arms, big hands, just never gave up on the basketball.
He picked it up at one stage in that play like it was a tennis ball. 7 rebounds for Karim Lopez so far, 3 at the offensive end. 1 of 7, having a tough shooting night, but still contributing is the next star. Windler swings it to Pepper, inside, Doolittle rises up. Rebound goes the way of Baker.
I mean, they are executing what they were saying they were going to do coming into this second half. They are trying to get the ball to the second side, get the defense to move, get the ball to move.
Baker flings that one in, and we're back to a 2-point game.
A little premature Selly after the corner 3. Baker.
You know it's going in, you know it's going in.
Well,
he was confident. He's the first player to hit double digits too for New Zealand.
Elijah Pepper got to that mark with his shot that beat the buzzer of half-time. Menenga pushes the pace. Jackson Cartwright inside. Lopez, Baker, the trailer. That one's around and out. David Duke Jr. puts the moves on, takes it at the rack. He's fouled by Lopez, but it was a pretty little crossover to get rid of Jackson Cartwright.
Well, he hit him with the pitter-pat crossover. And Lopez did a good job of not giving up on the play to contest at the rim and commit the foul. But Beck on the other end, as we look at this replay, watch this little bap right there. Crosses up a smaller man in Parker Jackson Cartwright, which is never easy.
Never easy.
But on the other end, Beck, New Zealand need to look at attacking Dylan Windler, who has 3 fouls.
I was just looking at his, and we were talking about it at halftime as well. I mean, it is a risk having him out on the floor already if he's got those 3 fouls, but I mean, he just has to play with a level of intelligence right now and just be smart, almost a step ahead with his thinking and how he plays defense.
Beck Allen, Derek Rucker with you in commentary this evening. Glad to see David Duke Jr. continue to find his feet here in the NBL. Only been here for a short time. Baker lets it fly from outside. 1 point game.
But again, it was set up by that initial penetration by Parker Jackson Cartwright on his left hand. Kick, 3 ball.
Leading scorer in the ball game is big Rob Baker. Turnaround from Lualachul Jr. won't fall. Pepper recycles it. Can't get it to drop. Lualachul Jr. goes again. That time it's around and out. Almost another offensive board for the Wildcats. They've got 15 in the game.
Oh, cameraman down.
Jackson Cartwright has gone careening into our cameraman underneath the basket there. So he's introduced himself to the spectators at one end and the cameraman at the other end. (47-46), 6:56 remaining.
Oh, that's smart. Oh, he'd be kicking himself for doing that. You know to never turn your back to the ball in an inbounding play.
A little bit of guile from the Breakers off the baseline inbound. And they claim the lead back at 48-47. So a really nice start. 10 points to 4 out of half time. Duke Jr. at the other end. He can't finish.
May have gotten away with a travel. Ooh.
Jackson Cartwright coming downhill, blocked by Pepper.
Now, I know he hasn't really been in favor this season, but I thought I liked Ben Henschel on PJC better.
That's right on cue. He wanted to check in there, Henschel, and Jackson Cartwright was keen to inbound. They were keen for him to inbound it. Now he does get into the game, does Henschel.
Because as we pointed out earlier, Beck, the matchup of Duke Jr. on PJC is significantly different than what he had to do on Bryce Cotton.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different scout, isn't it? I mean, coming to this game, I was thinking there'd be some similarities, but they are two very, very different plays in how they score at all 3 different levels. Saying that, Perth really do buy into the scout. They said that when they played against Adelaide, it was almost like a playoff game. Everyone bought into it, and I think that mentality would have had to have come across into this game because they were so successful.
Doolittle long 2, laces it.
His pull-up game is nice and very strong, compact with the handle. Perth are in a game now.
Indeed they are.
I think you can get that shot at any point.
Yeah, valid.
Brockington tosses it out. Menenga still can't hit the 3 ball. 1 of 5 this evening, 2 of 9 from the field. Just the 4 points for Menenga. Baker's got 15, 11 for Jackson Cartwright, 10 for Pepper on the other end. The 3 scorers in double figures so far this evening. Perth by 1, nearing it on halfway gone here in this 3rd term. Windler, Doolittle, Henschel, no good. Foul underneath.
That looks like a push in the back. JLA will get whistled for that one. Good basketball both ways back. Yeah. New Zealand scrapping in rotations. Perth with excellent ball movement. Right there, fouled him once, fouled him twice.
That's the right call. I do think it's important to play with intelligence as well. I think you've got to look at who is the hottest player right now in the New Zealand, other than PJC. Baker has hit a few shots. I think go back to him. We haven't had many people in this game who have lit it up like this. So I think you've really got to go back to it until it maybe dries up.
6 of 9 for 15 points is Rob Baker. He'll get another look here. Sizes up Doolittle. There is a foul on Aquera underneath. So Wildcats by 1, 5:04 remaining in this 3rd period. Let's check in courtside with Annalie Maley.
Just a question for you guys. I was wondering, the rotations from Perth right now, they're going in and out pretty quick. Do you think that has something to do with the lack of flow on offense and how one player can't really get going?
Well, I think it's 2 things, Annalie. One is the inability to successfully contain Parker Jackson Cartwright. So John Riley's trying to find someone in the backcourt that can defend him, and then also within that trying to find someone that is going to give them good offensive punch as well.
Mayan out there with Doolittle, Henschel, Aquera and Pepper for the Wildcats. Lopez Menenga, Taylor Britt, Ruben Tarangi and Isaiah Brockington for the Breakers. 1 point game. Aquera reaches up and uses his length to float it over the top of the defender.
He's been tough. 8 points in 7 minutes.
6 times we've exchanged a lead since quarter time in this game. Lopez forcing his way through the traffic. Can't finish the first time. Taps it back in for the follow.
Man, he's so valuable, and he's playing with such maturity.
8 rebounds, 4 points for Lopez. Oh, and Mayan got blocked by the rim and might have hurt that shoulder.
Yeah, that looked a little painful, I won't lie.
Just a bit of a stinger as he reaches for it again. He's already taped up there. Britt surveying the defense. Lopez for 3, no good. Rebound falls to Aquera.
Big minutes here for Taylor Britt. Just keep the score neutral while you're out there.
Henschel all the way through. Count the bucket, 1 to come.
Contact early on that move, Joel, and again, that continuation was extended.
It was generous. It was generous to Ben Henschel. 7 points, 3 of 6 shooting for Henschel tonight. Just under 12 minutes in the game for him. Elijah Pepper leads the Wildcats with 10. Aquera and Duke Jr. have 8. Doolittle's got 9. 15 offensive rebounds in the game for the Cats. 38 overall. 31 for the Breakers. They've got 12 at the offensive end, and Karim Lopez has got 4 of them. He's got 4 points and 9 rebounds as the next star. Liafa steps into a 3 and watches that hit the bottom of the net.
Absolutely necessary, Beck. You got to punish them in 4-on-3 situations.
3-point shooting numbers disparate at this stage of the game. 8 of 25 for the Breakers, 3 of 15 for the Wildcats. Here's Davison, who's got plenty of hops and plenty of speed and plenty of ability to finish.
New Zealand refusing to give up. Again, one of the best defensive teams in the league, and they've done a really good job on the Wildcats offense.
3 minutes remaining. Breakers by 1. Taking the lead back again as Aquera trades blows, and they trade the lead for the 8th time in the game. Oh, Tarangi just threw it away. Neither Liafa or Lowe could access the ball there.
He's got PJC sprinting at him for a dribble handoff, never makes eye contact to try and set that exchange up. Just a poor play there.
I think we see the mistakes happen in the game, right? But for New Zealanders to make sure they don't compound. You know what? One turnover, and then another, and then it just becomes a bit of a spiral, which we've seen in past games as well. So hopefully this offense down here, they really look after the ball, get a good shot.
Jackson Cartwright from outside, foul underneath, bodies collide.
That was a lot of contact in there, and an awkward collision as Lowe gathered that offensive rebound.
So baseline ball for the Breakers. Liafa, Davison, Tarangi and Lowe out there. Duke Jr., Pepper, Windler, Wagstaff, Aquera out there for the Wildcats. Another foul for Perth, and they'll be in the penalty in the corner. New Zealand have 1 to give with 2:15 remaining as Liafa and Wagstaff get tangled up. And the jump ball forced by Jesse Wagstaff. It'll stay in blue. 6 on the shot clock now for New Zealand.
These final 2 minutes, Beck, I'd love to see just a Parker Jackson Cartwright and Davison pick and roll.
Jackson Cartwright rattles that one in. He's up to 11 on the evening, 4 of 10 from the field. Make it 13 for PJC. And David Duke Jr. steps on the baseline. They will not go down without a fight, this New Zealand Breakers team. Every time Perth has threatened to break away from them, they have not allowed the game to slip out of their grasp. Davison turns the corner, and Windler gets rattled by Rob Lowe.
Well, we know Rob Lowe. He's all about this type. If he gets a foul, he's going to make sure he gets his money's worth. And he loads into Windler with his left shoulder. And that can rattle the collarbone region back.
All right, it didn't look good, did it?
We know that Windler has been injury prone in his time here in the NBL. Repeated ankle injuries, most notably. Let's hope that
He's up.
He is okay after that. He will stay out there though, which is good to see. So might have just had the air knocked out of him. It won't be upgraded to anything more than a normal foul. So Dylan Windler will stay out there. So important to this Perth team, averaging 14 points on 52% shooting. He's the 6th best rebounder in the league. Does a little bit of everything for them. They've got him out there at their disposal to close this third term. Up by 1. Jackson Cartwright almost the steal. They overcommit. Henschel had an open look at a 3. Duke Jr. missed the bunny underneath. He short-armed it, hit the bottom of the rim. Jackson Cartwright back the other way. The Breakers swing it on offense. Tarangi into the runner, won't fall.
Good offense by New Zealand, just missed the shot. Duke Jr.'s got to gather himself, continue to play after missing that bunny.
Both teams a foul away from the penalty. Duke Jr. creates some separation here and just heaves that one off the backboard. It'll be a foul on Tarangi for a hold off the ball.
And you can definitely see that Perth offense isn't as fluid without Jaron really out there running it. And I believe the lineup of really Windler, JLA, Doolittle, those 4 were really productive this season for the Wildcats.
Hoops Fest is Australia's biggest basketball culture and lifestyle festival. Hoops, the ultimate fusion of sport, culture and music. Over in Perth, 15th to the 18th of January. Great backing from the West Australian government. NBL and WNBL regular season games, the Fan Zone, Hoops Fest Cup, Sneakerland and much more. Scan that QR code on screen or head to hoopsfest.com.au to get involved in all the fun this year. One of the faces you see of Hoops Fest down to the bottom of the screen there, JaVale McGee and her own Annalie Maley. Just dragging people through getting the turnstiles ticking over.
Well, you got to use the stars, Joel.
Absolutely, Ruck. Absolutely you do. 60 to 57. Perth on top by 3 as we near three-quarter time. PJC stepping back and connecting from outside.
That's a tough shot. You saw him move away his screen as he says, I just want to take him one-on-one, and I think, what a shot.
That is the shot of a real leader and a man who's keen to put this team on his back. He ties the game at 60. Henschel back the other way. Right back at you, Parker.
He's playing with confidence right now, isn't he? He's having a good game today, and I feel like he's been needing this for himself.
10 points off the bench. Valuable 10 in a low-scoring game.
Yep.
16 for Jackson Cartwright at the other end. Perth by 2. Time winding down in this term. Baker's had the hot hand off to Menenga, who gets to his left hand through the contact. Can't score, and time runs out on the shot clock as well.
Menenga thought he was fouled there. It looked like there was contact on the arms. Nothing was whistled. Coach Kopp agrees with what I thought I saw.
So 0.8 remaining.
Just a hack, is that what we're thinking? His little hack to the arms, yeah.
He's going to be a little bit more time. 1.2 it'll be, which for Elijah Pepper is probably enough time.
1.2, here we go.
For a man with his flame-throwing abilities. Christian Doodle goes with a quarterback pass, and there's a foul.
What?
Wow.
Carlin Davison called for the foul on Wagstaff. Here's the Amy replay. So this is PJC's deep 3 ball. Davison called for the foul as the ball was inbounded, which will be shots for the Wildcats.
It sounds like a behavior warning has been issued to the New Zealand bench.
He's coming down.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to say that.
No, once it started at 1.2.
Look at it, it would be better to ask.
Doesn't start until you touch the ball. You got fouled before.
Here we go. I didn't have the best look at it. If I call something,
Wagstaff to the line. That's the first to go. 3% free throw shooter for his career. Knocks down 2. Jackson Cartwright elects not to go with the three-quarter time heave. And the Breakers will have to overturn a 4-point deficit in this final quarter if they're to walk out of Perth with a W this evening. At three-quarter time, it's the Wildcats 64 to the Breakers 60. Should be an absolute belter of a final term coming up after this.
And welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL, where we have an arm wrestle taking place out here in Perth at RAC Arena. 64-60 in favour of the home team, but the Breakers will begin with the ball and listening into three-quarter time. Talk about positivity from your coach. The New Zealand Breakers are up and about. They're feeling good about their position in this game. They drew up a play. We're going to try and execute and get to the ring. Let's see if they get 2 early points to bring this game back to a 2-point margin. I was listening in with New Zealand. Annalee Maley was listening in with Perth. Annalee, what did John really have to say to the troops?
Oh, John really was really happy with their effort defensively, but he was urging his players to stay out of foul trouble, and that is not what he would want to see. That brings Dylan Windler to his 4th foul, but the main talking point was about their foul discipline, and then offensively, he just wanted them to keep moving the ball and keep crashing the glass like they did in the first 3 quarters.
Thank you, Annalee. Very smooth work from you, Damien Martin, as well, bringing us back from three-quarter time. 64-60, the Perth Wildcats over the New Zealand Breakers. Right on cue, almost as if to make it happen. Annalee talking about foul trouble, and Dylan Windler goes crashing through that New Zealand defence to give away an offensive one to start this final term. John Peterson, Derek Rucker, Beck Allen with you in commentary with our courtside duo at RAC Arena this evening. Parker Jackson Cartwright, he's been leading the charge for New Zealand. He continues to do so, but that 3 is offline. He's going to play a big part down the stretch here.
Wow.
JLA's called for the offensive foul now.
2 offensive fouls to open the 4th quarter. The first one on Windler as he ran through PJC and collected his 4th foul. And there, JLA tries some type of veer or step-through move and collects Menenga across the face as we look at the foul trouble. But Beck, Sam Menenga, I think he's got to get going in this 4th quarter. They've done a good job without him being productive on the offensive end. He's 2 of 10 for only 4 points.
Yeah, they really have. But what I do love, I mean, he hasn't had his best game, but I mean, they've got 14 assists and Perth have 7. So I think that's a huge differential between the two teams. But I mean, my question back to you, do you take Dylan Windler off the court? I mean, if you've got 4 fouls,
back. Yes.
Yeah, you're playing with fire right now.
Oh, boy.
That's a tough turnover. Just the indecision.
Christian Doolittle, he committed the Cardinal City, left the ground without a plan.
Yeah.
Well, right now we're seeing the problem of not having a pure point guard. And Russo Nance was not good in the first half, which John Riley's obviously gone away from him. But these 3 possessions have been poor.
2 industries you can't leave the ground without a plan. Basketball and aviation, Derek Rucker.
Thank you, Joel, as I get on the plane early tomorrow morning. Speaking of a plane, Parker Jackson Cartwright is flying at RAC Arena. Busts another 3 from deep. It's a 1-point game.
Oh, now the steal for Brockington. It's all falling apart to start this final term for the Cats. Brockington races up the other end of the floor, gives the New Zealand Breakers the lead, and John Riley has seen enough. 65-64, New Zealand in front. Tangerine timeout with 8:22 remaining. And whatever John Riley drew up at 3/4 time, it was none of this that he's seen so far.
Certainly wasn't. I think that's 3 turnovers to open the 4th period. But it highlights a significant fact and a point of contention in today's modern basketball. Do you actually need a real point guard on your roster?
I mean, I do believe that it makes the game a whole lot easier. I think when you've got someone that is a true point guard, the one that can really, dictate the offense and get people in sets and get the ball to the right people as well. It's also just confidence. I think as a player out in the court, I want someone to, be dictating the offense in that way.
And moments like this is where, someone's got to gather the troops together and be like, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, and also we are going to get it done.
Yeah.
New Zealand by 1, 8:22 remaining in their second leg of a Saturday night doubleheader at RAC Arena. 65-64. Earlier tonight it was United over the Bullets. This is a close one down the stretch. Let's check in courtside. Arnold Maley.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything super of substance in that timeout. It was literally just called as a circuit breaker. He said, really was just take a break, take a breath. We don't need to change anything, reset, and go out there and play the basketball that we need to play. So I think a very tactical timeout, if there ever was one.
Still got a couple remaining in the game, John Riley, so here we could try and cut things out. David Duke Jr. goes back to the line so far tonight for him. 10 points, 4 of 4 at the free throw line, makes it 5 of 5. Third game for him out of Providence College. Mid-season signing from Providence College. It's worked well for the Wildcats in the past. They are hoping that it works on this occasion as well.
Well, there's something else that's been trending is road teams being able to come away with big victories. We saw New Zealand beat Brisbane away from home. We saw Adelaide get Tasmania. And now here, New Zealand threatening against Perth.
Jackson Cartwright again from outside. It's a one-man show. And Jackson Cartwright has got the spotlight firmly shining on him. Windler back the other way, leans in, can't get it to go. Brockington the rebound.
Beck, I think it's risky still having him out there on the floor.
Brockington rises up now.
I'm surprised they haven't made that change.
And New Zealand have kind of let them off the hook on a couple of possessions where they came up empty, but go at him on defensive end. Wow.
Pepper for 3. That one was a bit strong. Rebound PJC. 22, 8 and 4 rebounds now for Jackson Cartwright, who speeds down the floor and gets denied by Duke Jr. Great defense from the Wildcats on that possession. 2-point game, 7 minutes remaining.
It's a good matchup. Davison on Windler. Carlin Davidson, a very good athlete, plays with a good level of intensity.
And really uses his length as well. He gets a lot of deflections.
Right on cue, comes out of the game.
Yeah.
After all of that, that's always the way. It's a nice defense from Duke Jr. and Jackson Cartwright has made very good use of the advertising hoardings this evening in a number of ways. The speed that he flies around the court. Duke Jr. Now Doolittle. He hits that one, ties us at 68. 6:48 remaining in the ball game. Let's check in with Damo.
Yeah, I want to go and reiterate the comments you're making around Dylan Windler and the surprise, as all of us, that he stayed on the floor despite having 4 fouls for the first 3 minutes of the game. But more importantly, why New Zealand didn't go at him. Well, it was a decision the coaches spoke about in the last time out. They drew up a play the first possession of the fourth quarter to attack Dylan, try and draw that 5th foul. But in the next time out, they said, you know what, let's not get fixated on trying to draw a foul from a guy we think we're doing a pretty good job on containing. Let's focus more so on getting the right shot. And going back to Rucker's comments halfway through the third quarter, it's all about getting Parker Jackson Cartwright in on balls, and then if they happen to have drawn that 5th foul, they would have been the icing on the cake. But I love that the New Zealand Breakers didn't get too fixated on it.
It's good strategy play, 68 apiece as Doolittle goes back-to-back. He's got a double-double now, Christian Doolittle. He's got 13 points to his name, and he is starting to get busy. Jackson Cartwright at the other end's got a game-high 22. Brockington in the corner. Rebound to Rungy. Brockington in attack mode, drops it off to Lowe. Nice find and a great finish.
Great first step off the catch back.
Yeah.
And Brockington creates an easy bucket for Rob Lowe, who's been very good in this game. Rob Lowe now with 10 points on 4 or 5 shooting. Whoa.
Bashes into Duke Jr. there. Foul off the ball.
Beck, you love having a teammate like Rob Lowe, right? Because he's just going to hit everybody and just put a little bit of fear into even possibly your defender, and he just makes himself felt out there on the floor.
Well, it's not always often where you've got a big that really just wants to go out there and set screens and set those hard screens as well, and he knows his role, and that's the other part to it. He knows his role in his team, and he does it well. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. He just gets it done.
Nice like a front rower. There's Rob Lowe. Christian Doolittle! He's making big buckets here in this final term. And he is making a habit of coming through when his team needs him in close games. Tangerine timeout, New Zealand, 73-70. The Wildcats on top. And here's another look at it on the Amy replay.
And you can tell by his reaction after he knocked down that 3 ball. He understands. He knows that he's not playing to the level. And he's like, about time, Christian. Let's get it popping.
And I know you're happy sitting right next to me. I know this is what you wanted to see.
Yeah, we love to see all the players excel. We know it's not reality, but look at these games on a Sunday hoops.
Tasty. It's just like a little entree for your Sunday roast, Ruck.
It is.
Gets the mouth watering, gets the appetite going. Hawks and the Kings in the sandpit.
Well, I'm on an early flight out of here to Sydney to team up with Matty Russell, Brad Rosen, and Joe Healy for that big encounter.
That's a good lineup.
And the Adelaide 36ers and the Cairns Taipans is the late game. At any time, I mean, you could have a game of Scrabble played in the Adelaide Entertainment Centre at the moment, and it would be very, very fun.
Beck and I were talking about earlier, what a beautiful place to commentate a basketball game, and I can only imagine how good players feel playing there.
Yeah, you think about even when you were playing too, the energy that you get from your fan base behind, especially if you hit a big shot in a big moment, you feel euphoric.
Those days are a long time in my past, Beck, but yeah, thanks for the reminder.
I thought we decided last night it was only 2021 when you were still playing, having triple doubles. 73-70, just over halfway gone, or nearly halfway gone here in this final term. Rob Lowe hands it off to PJC. Baker turns it over to Doolittle. Let's check in courtside. Damien Martin.
As per the majority of the game so far, the New Zealand Breakers were all about, let's draw up a play as we see Christian Doolittle drop another 3 back-to-back threes to bring this margin 6 points. And on cue, they did address Christian Doolittle as someone to be aware of and not let him get going, but obviously be disappointed with that. All about offense, getting it easy too, and not allowing Christian. So right now, not executing what was called for in the timeout. How about you, Anna Lee? What did John really demand from his team?
Look, hard to hear anything right now. It's weird because John really spent most of that time out talking about defense, but offensively his team is just completely picked up. He talks about how defensively they're trying to force them into a switch so PJC can go downhill. He just wants his team to build a wall.
Thank you both. Baker, that's a big hit from Rob Baker. Much needed after Christian Doolittle scored 10 consecutive Wildcats points. And then Aquera added 2 more. Rob Baker, 4 of 8 from outside. He's got 18 in the game. And he's put together a nice little Saturday night out west.
Go to work on him. It's a mismatch.
Doolittle for another! Christian Doolittle, do more! 81-73. And it is Christian Doolittle who is dominating for the Wildcats. 13 points in the quarter. Baker at the other end. No good.
God, they needed that 3, didn't they? That would just steady the ship. This is sometimes where New Zealand, sometimes the wheels can fall off. So right now they need to really lock into their defense. They need to make sure that Doolittle doesn't get another open 3.
Duke Jr. from outside, no good. Rebound to Pepper. Rob Lowe dives on it. Duke Jr. dives on him.
Good hustle.
It'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow will have it going in blue by the looks. 3:07 remaining. Perth by 8. They have come to play here in this final term. It has all opened up offensively for the Wildcats, who led by 8 at quarter time, by 5 at half time, by 4 at three-quarter time, and now have that 8-point lead restored. Joel Peterson, Derek Rucker, Beck Allen, Damien Martin and Annalie Maley with you. Christian Doolittle's got 22. Parker Jackson Cartwright's got 22. They are dueling at either end of the court at the moment. Liafa for 3. No good. Doolittle with another rebound. 11 points to go, or 11 rebounds to go with his 22 points. He is in rhythm. He is in form. He's feeling good. He's denied by Lopez. And again, another jump ball. This one will stay in red.
Beck, I think I like when they got Doolittle out extended on the floor a little bit more. Maybe get him into a pick and roll and force a switch by the breakers, and then he can go to work.
Yep. I mean, he's breaking his player down, but it also shows that it's never just one-on-one defense as well. That help side from Lopez was brilliant.
Another from Doolittle. This time, no. Tampa pulls the rebound down. U14 for Perth. 8-point lead. Duke Jr. for 3. Rebound to Baker. Almost pinched off him. Needs to get rid of it quickly. Jackson Cartwright tosses it up the floor.
It's frantic, Beck.
It is. You can feel the energy, can't you? I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Screen from Menenga. Jackson Cartwright gets the switch onto Doolittle. Pass. It was a good find underneath. Menenga couldn't make it work. Liafa almost tossed it over the head of Baker, and now Pepper steps into the steal.
Baker with 2 bad turnovers in this quarter has really hurt New Zealand.
Just in pivotal moments, and you sort of see this time and time again. This is when you really need to look after the ball.
They'll go back to Doolittle.
Ooh.
Who goes to the baseline, keeps it alive, hangs, can't hit, has another go, and he has it taken away. So the door remains ajar here for the Breakers. They need something on this possession. Offensive foul.
He's had a great game, Ben Henshaw. He's had a really good game. That's a huge charge to take as well.
No Joe Luala-Chul Jr. out there in crunch time here for the Wildcats, and this lineup is getting it done.
And you're right, Beck. Ben Henshaw has been extremely impactful in this game. His 10 points have been good, and he's provided solid defense at times. And he's a plus 20, more importantly, as we'll get a coach's challenge on that charge there. This will be a close one, though, Beck.
Do you think it would be changed? What are your thoughts?
He didn't take it square in the chest. It was one of those side charges. If we get the other camera angle,
I mean,
I think it's a charge.
I think his feet are set. Oh, that angle's different, isn't it?
but he's stationary. He's in
Does he have
position.
enough time, though?
Ooh. Yeah.
It is successful.
Yeah.
It will be overturned.
Yeah.
81-73. Perth Wildcats. And that is a successful challenge from Pettery Coppitt. Scott Butler's in the replay centre. Scott, talk us through the deliberation there.
Good evening, everybody. So, baseline camera angle is the best position for this play. Red 10 has not established legal guarding position directly in front of the offensive player. This is actually a blocking foul. The offense has collected the ball, gathered the ball for the active shooting, so we overturned the call to a blocking foul and put the shooter to the line.
Thank you, Scott. So there you hear the explanation. Baker in the motion. And Ben Henschel is called for the blocking foul. What a pivotal turning point this could be in the game.
Knock 2 down here, and it's a 2-possession game.
With plenty of time left. Baker at the lines. First one is strong and always looked like missing. Couple of timeouts left for both of these teams and fouls to give. Perth looking for a 7th win of the season and just their 2nd at home in their 6th game here. The Breakers looking for their 5th victory of the campaign. Both of them missed for Baker. Code word is buzzers. Head to your local Hungry Jacks in Western Australia by 6 o'clock tomorrow and tell them Rob sent you. Cheeseburgers for all of WA.
Well, I'm sure Baker, he may as well visit a Hungry Jacks on his way to the airport. Won't taste as good for him as it does for most of WA.
Winners' burgers are always better. 81-73, minute remaining. There's still time for New Zealand. It's going to have to be something very special. Elijah Pepper's got other ideas. Menenga on the break. What can the big man do? Hasn't been his night so far. Has he got a moment of brilliance? He pulls them back to only 6 in arrears.
Oh boy.
Now it gets real. Henschel up the floor. Aquera hammers it down. And might have brought the curtain down on this one. Rebound to Henschel. No, it'll stay in red, in blue, I should say.
And this one will go to automatic review. Contested ball there between Henschel and Parker Jackson Cartwright. It's ruled New Zealand basketball.
So we'll take another look at the out of bounds. 83-75. Henschel trying to collect the rebound. Jackson Cartwright gets the hand in. And then they both have another go at it there.
And I'm sure PJC is claiming he never touched it. Look, he wants the ball.
Sure, Ben Henschel's claiming he never intended to get the rebound and he didn't touch it either. And the crowd lays in wait. Anticipating the call. 83-75. Perth led by 8 at quarter time, 5 at half time, 4 at three-quarter time. They've led by as many as 11 in the ball game. The Breakers' biggest lead was 2 on a couple of occasions. They've led for 3 minutes so far, and they have hung around, but this has been an impressive final quarter from the Wildcats, particularly Christian Doolittle, and it will stay with Parker Jackson Cartwright. They need something here to be any chance. Jackson Cartwright to Lopez, puts it on the floor, steps back, no good. Loose ball foul. It'll go back with Perth. Elijah Pepper will be sent to the line.
And a quick whistle there on that over-the-back call. Perth will go the other end. Elijah Pepper with a chance to add 2 to his total. 10 points on 3 of 11 shooting.
All 5 Wildcats out there have got double figures. Damo said at halftime who was going to be the one that stepped up and got them going, and it was Christian Doolittle here in this final term. 13 points in the last frame for the big man. Jackson Cartwright with 22. Baker's got 18 at the other end. Pepper misses the second free throw. Offensive rebound number 22.
It's almost strategic, isn't it? Missing it is running down the clock. I think that really plays into their favour.
Becca Quera has been excellent off the bench, 6 of 7. Got 6 boards, 14 points. Continues to develop in the right way under John Riley.
So the second most offensive boards in a game this season, only behind South East Melbourne's 26 that they had against Brisbane a couple of weeks ago. Selda's been strong work on the glass. 57 total rebounds for the Wildcats tonight. The Breakers 30 of 80 from the field. The Wildcats 29 of 73. Both will fall at the line. Christian Doolittle with 24 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists and 2 steals. And Perth have an 11-point lead with 25 seconds remaining in this one.
And after watching Christian Doolittle's stellar performance in last season's playoffs and what he did in that series against Melbourne United, this is what Wildcats fans and most of us pundits expected from him for most of this season. And it's kind of tonight's been his breakout party, and the Wildcats needed it desperately in this fourth quarter.
I mean, he really shone in the right moment too, and you can just see that it's almost right at that end point of the game where New Zealand just had no answers and they weren't able to adjust. But when he got hot, he was shooting them from everywhere, and it's really exciting to see a player like that when he's in his bag.
24 points for Doolittle, 13 rebounds. It's been a monstrous game and a particularly big final quarter from the Wildcats man. John really does go to him so often in these crunch moments, and more often than not he delivers.
He does, and on a night when JLA has been down with only 8 points, he's only attempted 6 shots, and of course we've discussed Dylan Windler's foul trouble, which really disrupted his flow in this basketball game. That makes Doolittle's contributions even more important.
He's so critical to all that they do. Lopez to inbound. Baker off to Brockington. Just playing out time now, the Breakers. Lopez for 3. That won't fall. It'll go back with the Wildcats. They've got a doubleheader next week against Tassie and Melbourne. The Breakers head to the FIBA break with a trip up to Cairns, so the road tests don't get any easier for the Breakers. And John really will have a chance to get something happening for his team, up by 11 with 12 seconds left. No Joe Luala-Shaw required down the stretch here, Ruck. He's not really been present too much here in this final term.
And you know, this hasn't been a beautiful win by the Perth Wildcats, but it was one that they needed just to get themselves going again as we look at their upcoming 5, and Tassie at home. That should be an opportunity for them to really stack some wins and then some big ones. An away home double against Melbourne United, at Adelaide, and then home to Sydney. Does it ever get easy?
I mean, no, it doesn't. That's the beauty of the season, isn't it? And that's the ebbs and flows that are going to come. So you've got to ride that wave. But yeah, those 2 Melbourne United games are going to be tough.
So New Zealand go to the FIBA break away to Cairns. Then they've got Sydney and Tassie at home on the other side of that break. South East Melbourne and Cairns, of course, a number of these Breakers players part of the Tall Black squad to take on the Boomers over the FIBA break, which we're very much looking forward to seeing those 2 teams getting together. 2 very talented squads that have been assembled for those games. It's going to be all kinds of fun. Christian Doolittle's had a massive final term. He has really been the architect of this for the Perth Wildcats. $13 points. 15 in the final term for Doolittle with the free throws more recently.
I don't think Elijah Pepper has one to complain about going to the free throw line late in games back. All points are good to him.
I was going to question that foul. Like, at this point, is there any point in doing that foul? I'm not going to even go for the bait that you're putting out about the shooting.
Got such a beautiful stroke.
Lit the NBL 1 West on fire over the off-season. Fortunately fell in the championship game in that building. 88-75. The Wildcats will get their 7th win of the season. Baker with a late three. Can't bring New Zealand closer. And it's fitting that Christian Doolittle pulls down the rebound because he was the man here in this final term for the Wildcats. 15 points from Christian Doolittle inspires Perth to a 7th win of the season. They get it done 88-75. And it was all on the broad shoulders of the import with number 5 on his back.
A great performance by Doolittle, and keep in mind, in this fourth quarter, at the beginning of it, Perth got off to a terrible start. They turned the ball over, but somehow they continued to perform on the defensive end, and Christian Doolittle is our Foot Locker player of the game. And Beck, sometimes it's just all about defense, and that's what kept them alive until Doolittle's explosion.
I mean, it put them in a position to win, didn't it? So, like, their defense kept them in the game, but there was always going to be a breakout moment, and you just saw that once he got hot, it was pretty hard to stop him. But what a game. There were so many lead changes. There was ebbs and flows in energy from either side, and I mean, an exciting game that I think that we couldn't predict.
And welcome back to you.
Absolutely. I don't think the Breakers lose any fans out of that one either. They go down 75-88. The Wildcats will be very happy with their night's work. They win it by 13 points. Win number 7 of the season for Perth. We'll break it all down on the other side of this. Last quarter was all the Perth Wildcats in the jungle. It was all Christian Doolittle, to be fair. 15 of his 25 points came in the fourth term. And it's the Wildcats who get their 7th win of the season, 88-75, over the New Zealand Breakers. They improved to 2-3 at home. The Breakers 5-9, 2-5 on the road. There is our Mitsubishi Motors ladder. The Wildcats are putting themselves right in the mix, Derek
It was
Rucker.
a big win, not only for the ladder, but just with their own psyche in terms of playing at home in front of the Red Army. And I like the fact that they're starting to defend the basketball really well. They were really poor on the defensive end last season, and that seems to be the biggest adjustment that the Wildcats have made that can make them a serious championship contender.
Yeah, 100%. And I think with their next game coming up, being against Tassie, hopefully they can continue to stack these wins because that just puts them in an even better position.
They keep finding themselves in games, the Wildcats there. And you look at their stats, you look at the numbers, the way they've played this season, they aren't blowing the doors off teams, but equally they're not getting blown out either.
That's true, and it may have actually been a good thing for them to have to be pressed today and need Christian Doolittle to pull them out, because this is why they committed to him, Joel, for 3 seasons. He is an electric player. He's a guy that can change the fortunes of your franchise, and tonight he showed why in that 4th period.
You're straight home after this, Ruck, because you've got an early flight tomorrow to be part of Illawarra and Sydney. 2:30 Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow, the Hawks and the Kings. It's going to be spicy, it's going to be entertaining, it's going to be all kinds of fun.
The Kings have some guys that are popping. Xavier Cooks is playing excellent basketball. Kendrick Davis is a superstar of the league. And back the Hawks, JaVale McGee.
Yeah, him and obviously Dave Hickey as well. Like, how are you going to slow both of them down? So this is definitely going to be a huge matchup.
It's going to be so much fun tomorrow to close out round 9, and of course Adelaide and Cairns to come, a double header on Sunday Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. That's about it for us tonight. Thanks to all of our crew behind the scenes here. Beck, it's great to have you back.
Thank you, it's been a bit of fun.
It's very good to have you back here in our NBL coverage. Derek Ruck will be back with you tomorrow. A big Sunday of hoops coming your way. The Wildcats close out Saturday night with an 88-75 win over the New Zealand Breakers.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.